Hey YouTube, I'm gonna wait a little bit of time because I know it gets a little bit lagged when it ooh, this is bright. That's better. Hey YouTube, it's Jay Elizabeth and I'm here with a video about priorities because I know we talk about them every now and then when it comes to life and school and everything, but do we really understand priorities? So as I grow and get older and experience more things in life, I come across astrology. I've come across occult. I've come across other religions that I wasn't grown up on because I was raised Catholic, which is actually super ritualistic. But when I look into astrology and I see how it's laid out to tell you who you are, what you can do, how you can be successful, where your flaws are, the things you'll have to really overcome around age 30, what you're doing each year of your life, the theme of that year. It could tell you a lot of things. There's even predictive astrology and different types of astrology. As I look at that and see like the career part of your astrology or the vocation part, it's been telling me to do YouTube my entire life, and I could have just been doing what I was supposed to be doing my entire life. This retreat that I have coming up on Mother's Day, it's been telling me to do this my entire life, and I could have just prioritized what I needed to prioritize before I turned 18. I think it's important for people to realize what they want in life, because there's like this trend of maybe I don't need a part of the American pie. Maybe being regular or what's that word, mediocre, they're saying, is the thing to do. When in fact, it's like you're prioritizing what everybody's been telling you what to prioritize instead of prioritizing what you think is important in your life. Like I'm doing the budget right now for the Mother's Day retreat, and it's going to be amazing. And it's fun. And I could have just looked at my astrology chart and saw that this is exactly what I was always supposed to be doing and prioritized it before I joined the military. Even though that's in my chart too. I could have did this as I was retiring from the military. I could have had retreats planned. I could have been an OG on YouTube. Imagine that. So, the point of this video, look into your astrology chart. If you want me to do more astrology videos, which I'll just do anyway. I'll start with Saturn because it tells you what you have to overcome when you get around 30. So you can start overcoming it beforehand. I have 2 children, and they both have their charts, of course. And one's chart is filled with one thing, one's chart is filled with other things. And because I'm homeschooling, I can prioritize this in their lives. Now, it's important not to hear that and say, oh, I wish my parents did that. It's important to say, what can I do now? What can I prioritize now? What should I prioritize now? What do I want my life to look like? Do I want it to be regular? Because when you're regular, you're always wanting something. And I just talked about that yesterday. But what can you prioritize to make life more beautiful, more fulfilling, more amazing for you? I recommend astrology, but you can look into education. You can look into reading. You can look into topics that you're interested in. If you're interested in archaeology, you can look into it. There's clubs, there's conferences, there's retreats, there's festivals, there's all of the above all around the world. You got to prioritize your life around you. If not doing labor is a part of your priorities, what can you do to afford that? Do you have to move in with people? Do you need to actually start saving? Do you need to start investing? Do you need to have real estate? Do you need to have a business that can support this? Do you need to start doing TikToks of you being leisurely and get paid for that? There are so many ways that you can support yourself doing whatever you want to do. It's just a matter of trust. So for me, 2022, and I suggest you write what you're prioritizing below. I'm prioritizing trusting myself, I'm prioritizing my astrology, and I'm prioritizing showing up for myself, because mediocre is boring, regular is boring. I want to be me, and I'm none of that. So I suggest you prioritize what you need to prioritize and be serious about it, because if you stick to one thing, it has no choice but to bloom and grow. If you keep nurturing one side of this side of the grass that you're on, it has no choice but to flourish. It has no choice. Like, proof is proof. Yesterday I talked about pessimists and manifesting, and the proof is, if you work out for 30 days, your body will look different. If you work out for 6 weeks, your body's going to look even more different. If you work out for 8 weeks, your body is going to look extremely different in a way that you actually can see, and people around you who see you every single day. The proof is, if you read books from people who have lived life already, they'll know something that you probably didn't know, or they'll have a perspective that could assist you in whatever you're going through. Like, I wish in the Black community, stay in a child's place didn't really exist, because they never told us their stories. They never told us the stuff that they went through that they wish they didn't go through. They never told us the lessons that they learned. We heard some crazy stuff. Some of us heard more than others, but I wish the Black community was more open about almost everything, because half the lessons that people are learning, your parents already learned. I remember this lady I know. She was poor growing up. She was an orphan, not an orphan, but she was adopted. And her children, she raised them. She did a great job, but at some point she didn't do a great job, and they started rebelling and going after her. So she gave them a better life than she had, but they had no discipline. She was being nice. So now that they're older, spoiled, and, undisciplined, she wishes they go through the things that they went through, that she went through, which was a lot. And I think that's terrible, to see your children in a better spot than you were growing up and wish they go through terrible things, instead of just telling them your story, telling them everything, prioritizing getting them information, because information and knowledge is power. Like, knowledge is power. Power will get you wealth, and understanding is understanding how to keep it all. Those 4 pillars can get you everywhere. So figure out, understand, and honor and commit to your priorities. Later.